Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Worthington Cantina, where we talk all things Star Wars, gaming, collectibles, and everything in between. Today, we're diving into a question that's been haunting us Star Wars fans for years. Will we ever see another Star Wars Battlefront game? We all remember the legendary days of Battlefront 2, 2005, the massive battles, galactic conquest, and that perfect balance of chaos and strategy. Then came the EA era with Battlefront 2015 bringing stunning visuals but lacking content at launch, and Battlefront 2 2017 facing a rocky start before turning into one of the best Star Wars multiplayer experiences ever. But since then, silence. So, what happened, and is there any hope for a new installment? Let's break it down. Once upon a time, Battlefront 3 was in development by Free Radical, and from the leaked footage, it looked insane. Seamless space to ground combat, huge maps, and a full campaign, everything we wanted. But thanks to behind the scenes drama and LucasArts struggles, it got cancelled. Then EA took over the Star Wars gaming license, and we got the rebooted Battlefront series. It had potential, but we all know how EA's priorities with microtransactions and live service models held it back. After the backlash and eventual redemption of Battlefront 2, EA shifted focus elsewhere, leaving Battlefront fans stranded in the Outer Rim. So, where does that leave us today? Well, EA no longer has exclusive rights to Star Wars games. Now multiple studios are working on Star Wars projects, like Star Wars Outlaws by Ubisoft and an upcoming FPS from Respawn. But here's the problem, none of them are Battlefront. DICE, the studio behind the EA Battlefront games, has moved on to Battlefield, and recent reports suggest they have zero interest in returning to Star Wars anytime soon. Could another studio pick up the mantle? Possibly, but multiplayer shooters with massive scale battles aren't easy to develop, and Lucasfilm Games seems focused on single-player experiences right now. So, is there any hope? Maybe. First, the demand is still there. Battlefront 2's player base is huge, even years after support ended. Mods are keeping the game alive, with fan-made content adding characters, maps, and even new modes. The community has shown that Battlefront is far from dead. Second, Lucasfilm Games knows how popular Battlefront is. If the right studio pitched a fresh take on the series, they might greenlight it. Maybe we won't get Battlefront 3 in the way we imagined, but a new large-scale multiplayer Star Wars game, that's not impossible. At the end of the day, it's all up to Lucasfilm Games and the studios willing to take on the challenge. Battlefront could return, but it'll take the right team, the right vision, and a whole lot of love for Star Wars. So since we don't have much to talk about regarding Star Wars Battlefront 2, I do want to discuss up-and-coming Star Wars games we have to look forward to. So first up, we have Star Wars Outlaws, which is the game that has already released. This is an open-world RPG developed by Ubisoft Massive, the same team behind The Division. Set during the Empire's reign, Outlaws will let you step into the shoes of a new protagonist named K-Vess, a smuggler navigating the galaxy's criminal underworld. What's really cool here is the level of freedom you'll have. Explore multiple planets, engage in epic space battles, and make choices that will shape your journey. The game promises to blend exploration, action, and a deep narrative, which is something we have all been craving in a Star Wars RPG. Next up, we have got Knights of the Old Republic Remake, or KOTOR Remake, is still on the radar, though it's been a bit of a bumpy road for this one. For those of you who don't know, KOTOR is one of the most beloved Star Wars games ever made. The upcoming remake is being developed by Aspyr, and it promises updated graphics, modernized gameplay, and an expanded story, all while keeping the essence of the original. The game's still in development, but with the legacy of KOTOR behind it, the potential for this title is huge. We're talking about one of the deepest Star Wars stories ever told, set thousands of years ago, before the films, where players get to choose their destiny as a Jedi or a Sith. Fingers crossed for an official release date soon, but this one has me beyond excited. Third, we have Star Wars Eclipse, and we can't forget about this one, the upcoming game from Quantic Dream, the studio behind Detroit, Become Human and Heavy Rain. This one is set in the High Republic era, a time period we haven't explored much in games or films. From what we know, Eclipse will be an action-adventure game that focuses heavily on story and player choice. It's going to offer a fresh perspective on the Star Wars universe, with players being able to control multiple characters, all tied together by a common fate. While details are still scarce, the High Republic setting alone makes this one an exciting project to keep an eye on. Besides these main titles, there are a few other Star Wars games in the works or still lingering in the rumor mill. We have heard whispers about new entries in the Star Wars Battlefront series, of course, and more potential mobile or VR experiences in the galaxy. The future is looking bright for Star Wars gaming, with studios constantly experimenting with new ideas, whether we're looking at new stories, immersive gameplay mechanics, or epic multiplayer battles. The Star Wars franchise is set to continue dominating the gaming space for years to come. So which of these Star Wars games are you guys most excited for? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you never miss a Star Wars update. Until next time, may the Force be with you guys.